Everybody.
Morning.
I know you all are going to probably be muted, but I usually like to ask everybody, are you fully aware of your own brand? And you can just put it in the chat or you can just say whoop, whoop, if you are fully aware of your own brand. Now, that's a starting question. Are you fully aware of your own brand? Yes, whoop, whoop, no. Um, as you may have seen, I've been in business for a very long time, more than 3 decades. I started my first business when I was 6 years old. And I would just kind of move forward to some of the things that I'm doing now. I own a company called Bistro. I have an agency called the Dominance Agency where we help people dominate in their brand. And I also have several other businesses under my belt. I consider myself a serial entrepreneur. And probably one of the things that I do extremely well is brand my companies. Sinclair mentioned that I own a publication called Black Moguls Magazine. We've been around since 2013. We have more than 30 million readers around the world. We are a global publication. And we focus on businesses like you. We focus on putting your brand in front of the world, in front of audiences that you need to be in front of. So one of the things I like to share with people is a recent story that happened to me with my brand, Bistro. Bistro, of course, is a CBD-infused edibles company. We also own a restaurant here in Atlanta called Bistro. It's over in Tucker. We will be reopening very soon. And Bistro kind of is the epitome of all of the things that I've learned over the years about branding and the right way to do so. Most people think about branding with regards to brand awareness. Let me make sure everybody kind of knows about me, what I do. Let me put myself out there. That's brand awareness. But there are some killer elements to branding that everybody needs to be aware of. And the reason I say that is this. In 2019, I started my company, Bistro, in 2018. I started in my living room when I was relocating back from Vegas to Atlanta. I started in the living room of the hotel that I stayed in. So I started it literally in a hotel. And I took it from a hotel to a shared kitchen. I organically grew the business. Now, Bistro is worth over $11 million now. So really, I did that in 2 short years. And it's the brand that actually did it for me. And what happened is this. In 2019, I was invited to Manhattan to pitch my company in front of some investors. And a company called Merida Capital, which is a top, I think they rank number 2 in cannabis investments. They are a top venture capital firm. They're a Wall Street publicly traded firm, and they also invest in private companies. And so I had to stand in front of them and sell them in about 15 minutes on why they should invest in Bistro. And needless to say, one of the things they shared with me that why they chose to invest in Bistro, of course, the numbers are extremely important. And that's a whole nother conversation. But beyond the numbers, they felt that I had a great command of my business and they understood what it was that I did and why people would even buy it. And that's what I want to share with you today. I want to share with you how to really create a killer brand. There are 3 things I think people need to truly understand about branding. There are so many moving parts. There are so many elements. Brand awareness is one thing, but you have to refocus yourself if you're not making the kind of money you want to make. If you're not making the kind of money you want to make, then you have to refocus your brand in 2021. First of all, you got to understand what is your brand's identity. That's an important element. And a lot of people don't have a grasp on their identity. Sometimes you can borrow a brand's identity because you are a franchisor or you have an agency and it's associated with a bigger brand. And people don't realize that, yeah, that's that brand, but what is your brand? So you can be associated and get in the door based on that big name, but what is it that you're gonna do for me as an individual customer? So your brand identity, that includes your tagline or your slogan, that includes your logo, that includes your fonts, your colors, everything that uniquely identifies you. And sometimes people, when they go and create logos and when they create these things that identify their business, it doesn't tell people what you really do. So people have no idea what you truly do. You have this great logo. It's beautiful, it's great colors, you spent a lot of money on it. It just does not nail it in the mind of the consumer. So I think people have to truly understand, what is their brand identity? The other thing that people have to understand is their brand image. And that's more important than anything that I'm going to share with you today. Your brand's image. And that includes if you have a brand identity that is associated with a larger company. What is your brand image? What does your brand say to your consumer? When a consumer sees your brand, what do they automatically think? What do they automatically perceive you to be? That is your brand's image. It's not about how good you look, it's what your customers think of you when they see your brand or hear your brand. The last thing that I would want to share with you about this, and I like questions, so I want people to be able to ask me questions so that I can really offer some value here today. The biggest thing that I think a lot of people miss with any portion of branding is they don't really clearly list or identify or indicate or make it clear in any of their messages the problem that they solve. What problem are you solving for me? If you sell insurance, you have a big name behind you. Yeah, I see the commercials. But what are you going to do for me? What problem do you solve for me? If you are a small business and you have to create your own brand identity, do you solve a problem? And I tell people all the time, the bigger the problem you solve, the more money that you're going to make. And so when I stood in front of Merida Capital in their New York, Manhattan headquarters, and I told them the big problem that I am solving with my presence and my brand, and you match that with the numbers, they made an 8% ownership investment in my company in 2019. So a top 14 cannabis venture capital firm, one of the largest in America, owns 8% of my company now. I'm not selling them any more of my company, by the way, not giving up anything else. But they made an investment that gave them an 8% ownership. And so that keeps us with capital and cash reserves and things like that we need to have to continue to move forward and grow this brand, Canna Bistro. So I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have, specifically the branding, things that you may be doing, questions about what I'm doing, and other elements of branding that you want to discuss. So just let me know what's on your mind.
Perfect. Thank you, Swan. Just open up, just unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, thank you very much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
In an organization where you have so many people doing the same thing, and I completely understand that branding is important. I mean, I guess I'm answering my own question, but how can you really differentiate yourself?
Tell me what you do right now.
I am part of US Health Advisors, so we do health insurance all over the USA. And they have a mission statement, which we all quote, which is helping other people every day. But I really want to know how to differentiate myself. I know that there's one of my colleagues that's labeled, he's branded himself as fashionable insurance. I spoke to
I like
someone
it.
about that, but you know, he said, well, I don't know that insurance can be fashionable, but I guess the key thing when he does that is that people remember who
He is. Mhm. Well, that's a very good question. And I always start with the end in mind. And I think there's so many moving parts to branding. We only have so much time to talk about so many things. But understanding the problem you solve, but more importantly, whose problem are you solving? I think most people fail to understand who their audience is. You represent a brand like US Health Advisors, you represent some other brand, and you fall on deaf ears because you don't pick your target audience. You don't pick the customer whose problem you're going to solve. You don't even know and understand your own ideal customer sometimes. I'm not saying you personally, but I'm saying people don't understand who their ideal customer is. So you have to start with the end in mind. Who am I going to help? And most people have the same answer: everybody, or families, or everybody that owns a business. You have this generalized answer when that's not an answer. You have to become laser focused when you are in such a competitive space. Whose problem am I going to solve? Am I going to solve families with an income between 100,000 and 150,000 a year? They're married, they have a home, they have 2 cars. See, when you really know who your customer is, now you know what they need from you. Well, if they have 2 cars, they need auto insurance. If they are business owners or entrepreneurs or self-employed, they also need health care from me. If you laser focus in on who your ideal client is and you work backwards with whatever brand or whatever business you represent, even if it's your own brand, your own company, or if you are Primerica, if you are US Health Advisors, all of you guys compete in a similar space, but you don't have to compete for the same customer. Because if you know your customer, and all of your advertisements, all of the things you post on social media, everything that you do is focused and targeted on that customer's ears, you will excel and sell more than anybody else will, because you're focused in on one group of people and you have that particular lane that you specialize in. And I'm not talking about, oh, I specialize in health, or I specialize in life, or I specialize in auto. I'm talking about you specialize in a customer. And now there's an increased lifetime value that customer means to you now, because you can focus in on selling that customer everything across the board. And now you have a customer for life. But if you don't even know who that is, and you're just generally selling insurance, and you're pitching everybody you run into in the supermarket, tell everybody that you meet, oh, I sell insurance, or I'm with this company or that company, you'll be all over the place. You'll be all over the place. You'll never win big picture wise. If someone's goal is to earn 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures plus, these are the things that they have to do. They must do.
Excellent question.
Great response. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonia, all the way from Florida. Anyone else got a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Right now, with the insurance industry, the personal lines, which is mainly the auto insurance and homeowners insurance, we've hit what's called a hard market, where the rates continually go up, and people are becoming real price conscious. Even though there's companies out there, I mean, you can figure out who they are. They advertise on TV and, constantly about how cheap they are. People are starting to fall for that. And they have been for a long time. Insurance has basically been devalued because of said companies. But then they find out when a claim comes that you got what you paid for. But it's really, we're hitting a spot right now where it's really difficult to get people, you know, to come over. Yeah, you're going to probably spend a little bit extra with us, but you're going to be taken care of the right way. And then people have been, basically they've been sold that they can just get by with like minimum coverage. And one of my taglines that I like to use is, you don't have to be a millionaire to be sued like one. And it happens a lot. I get clients that will, you know, bring me letters from Morgan & Morgan and some of these other, you know, big name attorneys where they're being sued. But the average person just thinks, oh, that'll never happen. You know, I'm a good person. I'll never get sued. But right now, it's just very difficult to get people to really understand what's on the line every day.
I got it. And I appreciate that, because full disclosure, I used to be in sales. In corporate America, I was in sales. I was in the payments industry for a very long time. I sold merchant services, credit card processing. So that grind type of sale, I've done, all the way up to the enterprise level sale, I've done. So I understand that. And I'll say this to you. If you sell on price, you lose on price. If you sell on price, you lose on price. For example, Canabistro, our specialty with regards to the food that we offer, it's CBD infused, of course, but it's vegan. There are a ton of vegan restaurants in the metro area. There are some cheaper than what Canabistro is. But because I am so in bed with my customer, and I know what they want, and I know that they will pay whatever price I make it, I don't care about that. I don't lose anybody on price. My food costs more than everybody's, but they buy it, and they're loyal, and they're not going anywhere. That's because I know who they are. I am targeting people who are going to spend that kind of money with me, and that price is not going to become an issue for them. Even in a bad economy, people are still going to eat. They're still going to have insurance. You have to really focus in on who you want to have as your customer. And when you really get in bed with that person, and when you really understand what their needs are, and you sell on that value, you never lose them. That's not to say that somebody's not going to leave you. That's not to say that somebody's not going to price shop you. But you have to really get that focus on who you're selling, who that customer really needs to be for you, who your ideal customer is. And it's not everybody.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tracy, for that question, Swan. Anyone else have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Hi.
Hello.
How do you find what ways what tips can you give to find that ideal client? Like, where can we start?
Well, as I mentioned, start with the end in mind. Who is the person first? A lot of people are on social media. Mm-hmm. Social media is a great place to be. However, is your client on social media? Is your client on Facebook, or is your client on Instagram, or are they on both platforms, or are they TikTok? Where is your client? Who are they? Now, where are they? Who are they? Where are they? Because if you're spending money on advertising and social media platforms that your client is not there, what's the point? What's the point of having an IG page just because everybody has an IG page when your client is really on Facebook? You see what I'm saying? Finding your client comes after knowing who they are. And once you know who they are, then you find them. Where is this type of client? Are they reading Millionaire Magazine? Are they reading Black Moguls Magazine? Where are they?
Thank you.
Excellent question, Audrey.
Excellent question.
Got a couple. You had a question, Eartha?
Yes. Actually, it's more of a statement. I want to thank you, Sean. I think I've heard that before, but you know how sometimes you hear things and for whatever reason, your mind is not at the point to accept it. So I thank you for being on our platform today to share this. I have, and it clicked in my mind, okay, you really do need to limit who you advertise to. And I was struggling with starting advertising campaign because I was trying to figure out how to get everybody to come. But you have confirmed that I got this message a couple of times ago that I do need to cater to the universities and the universities and the employment agencies whose employees and students need my services. So I thank you for making it stamp in my head.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Thank you.
Excellent. And when you get time, I know she hasn't introduced herself. Kendra, you need to talk to Kendra, Eartha. She hasn't shown her face. This is the new year, so I finally got her on the call.
I'm here. Hello. So I'm Kendra. I didn't show my face because I was late to the party. So thank you for hosting this. I'm Kendra Price. I work at Emory University as a government affairs manager. So I do a lot of engagement with our elected officials locally, especially in South and Southeast DeKalb County. I do work with a lot of community leaders, and I did just resign as president of the Greater Lithonia Chamber of Commerce, which I was president for about 4 years. So I am available, and it's good to see all of you.
Great. So Sinclair, can you send me that information?
I'll shoot you the information. Thank you, Kendra. I appreciate it. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? We got about, let's say about 3 to 4 minutes. Anybody got any, well, we got about 4 minutes. Anybody got any questions for Swan?
I have a quick question, really quickly, very quick question. When is the right time to hire a professional, hire help when you're building your business and building your brand?
You know, I recommend people get coaches up front. You need a coach up front, and a coach that specializes in whatever area of your business that you are working on and need the most help with. I have 3 coaches. I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on coaching because I find it to be invaluable. So up front, out the gate, a lot of people wait till they have big problems later on versus heading off those problems in advance. A coach, a really good coach, will guide you along the way. So I think it's very important that we start investing in coaching and understanding the value of having someone who's experienced that we can borrow. That's all it is. You're borrowing that person's experience, not necessarily, quote, expertise, it's their experience. You know, I have a saying that a wise person learns from their own experience, but a genius learns from the experience of others. Save yourself some time and money.
Thank you, Swan. What we're going to do here, a few people came in a little bit late. I want to give you the opportunity to tell people who you are in 7 seconds, please. Okay, who do I see? Renee.
Good morning and Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Renee Creighton. My business is RLC Hospitality and Travel. I work with several hotels in the market of Conyers, Covington, Stonecrest, offering them sales and marketing consulting.
Thank you. Eartha.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Eartha Levy with Postkeeper CPR. I provide CPR and first aid training, now catering specifically to colleges and universities, accepting nursing and physician students.
Thank you. Todd, who presented last week for us.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Todd Rose, TS Rose Enterprises, LLC. I specialize in digital marketing, public relations, and copywriting, as well as website development, helping small and medium-sized businesses achieve greater ROI and grow their businesses effectively.
Thank you. Ms. Smith.
Good morning. I'm Tawanya Smith with Right Choice Motors. It's a used car dealership that's located in Covington, Georgia.
Perfect. Rose, welcome back to the States.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be back. My name is Rose Lovelace with Path Medic, where we bring healthcare to your comfort level. We specialize in we are a home health agency, and we also do medical equipment and supplies.
Perfect. Thank you. We've already. Dawn up in Gaithersburg,
Hey,
Maryland.
good morning. Yes, I am Dawn Phillips, the owner of Dawn's Conscious Living and Lifestyle Coaching. I am a certified life/health coach and a meditation facilitator.
Thank you, Dawn, for joining. We got Miss Andrea George.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Andrea George with Rapid Gourmet. And the problem we solve is to provide you with healthy meals to take you to the next level in health.
Wonderful. Thank you. We got Dr. Sable. I know she was on. Are you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Milan J. Sable, MD, with the Wellness Sanctuary International Corp. I work with my husband, Dr. Stephen Sable, DC. If anyone needs to get adjusted, receive physiotherapy, laser acupuncture, and biocupping, please call my office here in Conyers. Also, I know I only have 7 seconds, but I want to give a shout out to Dr. Sinclair, who we are working with very personally and on a business level. He's helped my company grow tremendously. So if you're new here, you are in the right place. Thank you, and cheers of blessings, and Happy New Year 2021.
Thank you, Dr. Sable. Appreciate it. Well, before I give Swan the last few words, thank you everyone so much for coming out. I really appreciate your attention this morning. Next week, I want to let you know we have a dynamic speaker, a good colleague of mine, Mr. J. Vincent Williams. He is the president and CEO of the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Corporation. He is a who's who, so if you want to do any business in Chicago, or matter of fact, for that, in the state of Illinois or all over, he is the man to go to. So next week, he will be dropping some serious information. So he and I will be talking this week to find out exactly how powerful he will be bringing, just like Swan. So Swan, I want to thank you so much. Swan, you got 3 minutes. Close us out however you want. Close real quick. Before Swan, did I miss anybody? Okay, I didn't miss anybody.
Doctor, I just wanted to say, I went on her line and looked at her food, and it made me hungry. It is delicious. And did you say you're reopening in Tucker?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Do you have a date for that yet?
We're waiting on the county right now. So the county is still closed, unfortunately.
Right.
So we have to wait for the county through different contractors to do inspections and things like that. So we're at the mercy of the county at this point.
Right. Well, my daughter is vegan, and so I've been eating a little bit more vegan food from time to time, and I like it, and especially the way yours look. Boy, it was beautiful. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, you got a lot more customers coming.
Thank you.
All right, Swan, you got 2.5 minutes. Close us out in your own way, Swan. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. We will definitely be in contact soon.
For sure. You know, simply put, you know, your brand is all about your customer more than it is you. Personal brand is about you, but your business brand is really about your customer. So make sure that your customers understand that you are for them. What you do, what problem you solve with theirs, and most importantly, the value that you're going to bring to their lives. Be sure to connect with me on LinkedIn, connect with me on my website, CoachSwanSimpson.com. Get yourself a great coach this year. It will pay off in major dividends, trust and believe. I spent a lot of money on coaching because I found out through my own experiences that I needed the help, and you get the help you need, and guess what? Problem solved. So everybody, I appreciate your time today. Much success to you, Sinclair, and everyone in this coming year. We're hoping for a better year than last year. And so it is.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Swan. Everybody have a good day. Please be safe out there. Everybody have a good one, and I'll talk to everybody soon.
Be blessed. Thank you.